Hey kitchen peeps, today we are going to do something incredibly yummy. Who loves chicken and dumplings? Pick me, pick me. I love some chicken and dumplings. So does my whole family. So today I'm going to show you a super easy way, kind of a cheater way, but whatever. We'll call it stupid easy, like Mima said, way to make dumplings. So this morning I got up and boiled or stewed a couple of chickens. If you've watched our videos, you've seen how to do that. So they are already done. I'm gonna see if I can flip this down without losing the camera. I'm not sure that's gonna happen. Let's see. My house is kind of a train wreck, so don't pay any attention to that. Okay, so in this ginormous pot, I have two whole chickens that I stewed. And just like I said, true to the chicken stewing video, put my chicken in, filled it up with water. I added a half a cup of Trilogy since I'm doing two chickens. No, I'm sorry, a cup of Trilogy because I'm doing two chickens. And I added 4 of my half cup packages of celery, from our pre-prepping video where we did the green onion and the bell pepper. And I said, celery's not great to do. Well, for something like soup, I'm making a mess, or dumplings, it's perfect. So I like extra celery in my dumplings. So I added, besides the Trilogy, I added in 4 packages, which would be 2 more cups. And then I put in a couple tablespoons of salt and about a little shy of a tablespoon of pepper. So as you see, we have a humongo pot of unbelievably beautiful broth full of onions, garlic, celery. Oh my gosh, and it smells awesome. So I'm doing, a bathtub full because we're pigs and we love it. And because my son and daughter-in-law and granddaughter are coming over in a little while to eat with us. And then my other daughter-in-law is really sick. And so I'm going to take some over to them so that they have something to eat. And what better thing to eat when you're not feeling good but chicken and dumplings from homemade stock. So I'm going to pick these chickens, just like I taught y'all before. I'm not going to make you watch that. And then when it gets back to the point of doing the dumplings, I'll bring you in. So I'm going to pick the chickens, put the meat straight back in the stock. So it's already in there. So stay tuned. Okay, I'm back. I got my chickens all picked. Y'all, listen, it took me literally 20 minutes to pick 2 chickens. And I wasn't even trying to go very fast. I was just kind of doing my thing. So this is really super easy and doesn't take that much time. I thawed my chickens out last night. I set them on the counter, actually in the sink, and let them thaw overnight. I know that freaks people out, but I've done that my whole life. My mama did that her whole life, and we're still here, so it works. Frozen chickens in the sink, they thawed out. When I got up this morning, cut them out of the package, put them in the pot, filled it with water, put in the salt, the pepper, the Trilogy, the celery I mentioned earlier. I'll try to remember to put that in the notes so y'all have that in the quantities and stuff. Turned the pot on while I'm puttering around the kitchen, doing whatever. When it started a little bit of a rolling boil, turned it down, stuck a lid on it, kind of cockeyed, and let it go for about an hour, I guess maybe close to an hour and a half. Cut it off and then just let it sit here. So, all in, grand total, we're probably talking 30 minutes to do that, moving slow, because my Trilogy was made, so no onions to chop. I have celery chopped up and bagged in the freezer. That's not something you would want to use in like a mugu gai pan or something where you want a really fresh, kind of crunchy celery texture and flavor. But in a soup or dumplings, good Lord, it's amazing. And so simple. It's like shake, shake, shake out of the package and you're done. So literally 30 minutes moving like a mama to get it ready to boil. 20 minutes to pick. Now I am getting it to come to a boil. Let me see if I can turn this around where you can see what I did. There's my stock pot. Look at that. Golly, I could get a spoon and just chow down with that right there. So some incredibly rich, nutrient-dense, amazing stock. With the chicken, and I just pick and throw it in there and kind of pull it apart in little bit smaller pieces. I don't get too carried away. I don't want it too small to start with because by the time your dumplings cook, and you don't want your chicken to be just a pile of mush. So I got that going. Here, see if I can do this. Can you see that? That's the scraps. I mean, that's a pile of skin and some googly parts. That's it. And then over here, can you see? There's my bones. I'm going to put some water in there, throw a lid on it, turn it up, and make some more stock. Okay, while I was wrapping up that other piece, I turned the camera off, kept on blabbering, and then realized I wasn't recording anything. So, you know, camera skills again. So we've got the amazing stock with the picked chicken over there getting hot, because you want it just kind of to come to a nice rolling boil, and then we'll start adding the dumplings to it. And this is where the stupid easy part comes in. Y'all are gonna think I'm crazy, but I promise you, this is amazing. This is not going to be a gluten-free version, although you can do it with gluten-free. I've done it that way before. But what I have is some very amazing organic flour tortillas. I used to do the make your flour and your water and your seasonings and roll it out and cut them, and I did all that, and they're amazing. They're really, really good, but it is a lot of work. And probably to me, the worst part isn't as much making the dumplings as the flipping cleanup afterward. I mean, because dough is like paste and glue, and it gets everywhere, or at least it does with me, and it was just always, ugh, I hated that. Love dumplings, but I hated that part of it. When I discovered this, and I don't really even know where or how, because I've been doing it this way for, Lord, probably at least 25 years at least. So, I don't know, somewhere along the way I learned this. But I know you can't see this because it's backwards. I had figured out how to fix my camera so it wouldn't do that mirror thing, and the settings changed on me and it's back to where it was, and I don't know. I'll figure it out. But this is mi rancho. Yeah, my Spanish is not good. Organic flour tortillas. All you have to do, y'all are going, I'm telling you, you're going to think this is crazy. But it's so easy and it's so good. Let me turn the thing down without, there we go. If you have a cutting board and you have a pizza roller, you got dumplings. All you gotta do is take it out of the package and just start cutting them. And it's really whatever size you want. That's probably a little fatter than I care to have them, so let me do this. There you go, that's about the size I like. So I do it maybe an inch thick, maybe that's a little more. And I will, on the really, like the middle part where they're longer, I'll cut them in half. You don't want to cut them down too small because they're going to cook down, and then they're going to kind of start coming apart, and that's what makes your stock all thick and yummy, almost creamy like. And if you cut them too small and they break down too much, you kind of have goo. And that's one place, at least for me, when I've done the gluten-free ones, they taste amazing. You can get really good gluten-free tortillas and do this. It just, the cooking time needs to be a little quicker because they're gonna, there we are. They're gonna cook down faster, so you don't wanna let them simmer on the stove, or you will have a pile of mush. The taste will still be amazing, but the texture may be a little less than what you're looking for. So we're gonna move back over to the stove, and I'll show you how I add them to the pot. And then, and this is the sad part, y'all, I've never measured, or I'm not really sure about volume, so I'm kind of figuring this out for the video as we go, sorry. But I've got several packages. I'm gonna add at least 2, and this is a 10-ounce package. It has 6 tortillas in it. I'm gonna put at least 2. I'm sure there's gonna be more, but I'm gonna start there, kind of see how the texture is and get it to where I want it to be. We like our dumplings a little on the thicker side. I mean, I don't want them globby, although I will eat them if they're that way. I don't care that much. But I like them, you know, I like to have texture to my dumplings. So anyway, I'll quit babbling. Y'all don't care about what I like. I'm gonna move over to the stove and make sure this thing's boiling, and we'll start adding them, and I'll show you how we do that. Okay, here we go. The stock is boiling perfectly. Let me get this lid out of the way. Turn this down where y'all can see. Okay, you see that? Look how pretty that is. Can I scoot it? Oh, well, that's good. And all we're going to start doing is take our little strips of tortillas and just dropping them in. And what I've always done is where it's bubbling the most, I just drop them. I mean, you don't want to drop a whole glob like that because it's going to glob. But if you just kind of feed them in one at a time, but you can do it really quickly. I'm going to do probably half of what I cut up, and I'll stir it around, let it kind of cook a little bit, and then I'll add some more. Well, that was a little bit of a big piece, but that's okay. You know my motto, it's your kitchen, do what you like. Let's get over here. Because one thing, as you're adding these tortillas, they're going to bring the temperature down of the stock, and it's going to stop, you know, bubbling and boiling like it was. And you don't want that. You want it to kind of keep going. You don't want it to just get stagnant. So I'm probably close to halfway in my little pile. Just kind of dropping them where I see bubbles. All right, I'm going to stop for a second. I'm going to stir it around easily. I mean, that's one thing. If you get real rough and just stir through here, you're breaking your chicken down, you're breaking your dumplings down, and you want them to keep some of their form. So you just want to stir it around. I'm going to turn it back up a little bit. I had turned it down because it was cruising a minute ago. And so I wanted to turn it, you know, let it kind of settle down. It's about to boil out of the pot. All right, so I'm going to let it come back up, and I'll come back in a minute. All right, here we go again. Boiling really good. I'm going to turn it down. Get all these in here. Kind of drop them in. I mean, do y'all see how simple this is? It's like, good golly, anybody can do it. It doesn't take that long. I mean, it takes several hours, but it's because of boiling the chicken. It's not several hours of work. It's just time in between. But the actual time doing any kind of, if you want to call this work, I mean, good golly, how hard can this be? And if you like dumplings, ooh, you're going to love it. I'm going to stir it around a little bit again. So let's just keep putting them in. And then you want to just keep adding until you get to the texture you want. Turn my heat back up. If you want it really super thick, then add lots and lots of tortillas. If you want like yours a little more brothy, you know, kind of like that right there, then don't add as much. I mean, do it however you like it. Chicken and dumplings are kind of like gumbo. There is no perfect recipe, and you can make it just the way you and your family enjoy. Like I mentioned earlier, we like ours a little thicker, so I'm going to keep going. I'm going to add at least one more package of tortillas because I still have a lot of broth down here that don't have any tortillas in them. They tend to float. I guess I should quit calling them tortillas and call them dumplings, because by the time you cut them up and put them in here and they poof up with chicken stock, they're a dumpling. Oh, but my gosh, y'all. This is going to be flippin' amazing. And, you know, I mentioned organic. Did I ever mention that? Earlier, talking about organic tortillas. I really, 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 really encourage you to do organic anytime it comes to any kind of, well, everything if possible, but any kind of grains, because, you know, flour, or wheat, I should say, is, and you can research all this and see it yourself, but it is not only raised in dead ground because it's so full of chemicals, but it's also sprayed repeatedly throughout the growing season to keep bugs and all kinds of fungus and things from the plants. because there's no living anything in the soil to take care of that, which is the way God created it. The soil takes care of it, but we've killed everything through our chemical nightmare. But it's also sprayed repeatedly in the what would be the harvesting process. Historically, wheat was, when it was time to harvest, it would be cut and left laying on the ground to dry. Well, our brilliant chemical whatever industry decided we could spray chemicals on them, Roundup, glyphosate, A1, to speed that process. So it kills the grain or the wheat faster, so it can be harvested faster. So you're eating flour that has direct chemicals sprayed on it. I mean, I don't want that jazz in my body. I don't want that mess in my family's bodies. That's pretty bad stuff. So anyway, I'm sorry, I'll get off my soapbox, but it's just, if people would do a little of their own research, you would just be appalled at what is in our so-called food system. So anywho, this is coming together nice. Look at that. All right, I'm going to finish this package, and this may do it. This may be it for me. So you see this ginormous pot, 2 full chickens, 3 10-ounce packages of tortillas, and I'm just going to let it simmer for, 30 minutes or so. My older son just called a minute ago and said, "Hey, can we come early?" It's like, okay, sure, come on, bring it. But anyway, we're going to pig out on some dumplings in a little while, play some games, have a little bit of family time. I'm going to run some over to our other son and daughter-in-law and 2 childrens, 2 grandkids over there, and one's coming over today. And everybody will get some nutrient-dense, fueling, body-filling, taste bud tickling chicken and dumplings. Pastured chicken straight from a Happy farm, filtered water, organic onions, celery, pink Himalayan salt, organic tortillas. I mean, this is good stuff. This is good stuff for the bod. So, anywho, I'll stop babbling. See if I can turn this up. Thank y'all for watching. Give it a try. I think you'll really, really like it. It's surprisingly easy. And like I said, if you do the old-fashioned roll your dumplings thing, more power to you. I did it for years, and it's amazing. But it's just very, very time-consuming, so I like this. It tastes fanabulous. A new word, fanabulous. And it's a whole lot easier. I'm all about some quick and easy as long as it doesn't cut into the nutrition or the flavor. So, y'all have a good one. Leave me some comments if you try it. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel, blah, 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 all that jazz. You know how that goes. So, have a good one. Okay, y'all, real quick, I want to show you how the dumplings look now. Look at that. Yeah, it's a little lower in the pot because we've already eaten. We pigged out. I'm trying to get, God, I need to hire a cameraman. They simmered for probably, 45 minutes or so, just real low. And look how thick and creamy and yummy they were. Off the chart. So, there you go. Super easy. Chicken and dumplings. Give it a shot.